Quattro Education System. The Quattro Education System is an online institute which teaches advanced entrepreneurial skills for the beginning and advanced student. The program is by invitation only, not open to the general public. One of the philosophies that we try to instill and demonstrate is that we believe it does not take money to make money. Unfortunately, that's a phrase people use right about the time they want to put their hands in your pocket. We believe it takes knowledge to make money, and we provide the knowledge. We need sales folks. That's the key to this program working. We let professionals do what professionals do. We also know, however, if you're going to keep great sales staff, you've got to offer them a six-figure income because that's what it's worth. How do we know that? Well, we've been doing this for 18 years. The idea is very simple. If you can take professional salespeople and put them in an institute that demonstrates for those people observing that sales staff, they'll see for themselves exactly what it takes to run a qualified business. Don't let amateurs run the business. If you're going to have a business, you're going to bring in people who can make it happen for you, and that's what we do here. Now, what are we selling? Students pay a monthly tuition for access to daily instruction. They get software, audio, video, text archives, which provide the means to learn and execute the skills needed to run an internet-based business or even any kind of small business. They can use these skills to earn while they learn. This allows them to earn the money so they can pay the full tuition. The business pays for itself. It doesn't come out of their family's budget. We can show them how to earn money, and they can use that money to pay the tuition to learn the skills. The goal is to earn a full-time income with minimum, or what you might just say, no risk. Now, who needs this? Who would ever want a program like this? We offer this program to people who have indicated they want to earn money from home, using their computer and the internet. This is a huge target market. Think about it. Who has a computer and internet access that if they were given the opportunity for a program that doesn't require any huge investment, there is no risk involved, it doesn't require them to spend hours and hours and days hoping they can learn the skill necessary to master the program. They're not making calls. They're not going to friends and family and trying to sell a product. If you were to be able to give people that type of program, do you think they would want it? Of course they would. So as we stated, it's minimum risk. The program has individuals paying $25 out of pocket one time with no additional out-of-pocket expense ever. There are no upsales. There are no, okay, you paid $25. Now, if you really want it to work, you have to join this and do that. No, absolutely not. We teach them how to let the business pay any future expenses. So, with all future expenses being paid for out of the proceeds of the business is real. Any business has to pay its own light bill. So the idea here is with little or no risk, we allow people to actually grow a business based on the skills that we teach. So what are some of the benefits? Well, they're taught to run a business that's not only affordable, but one of the huge benefits is it's 100% commission on the tuition students paid. They get paid directly. None of it goes to the school. None of it is go to a third party. When they set up a recurring tuition payment, it goes from that student to the individual who we're working with. That's simple. There is no 1099 involved because no money is changing hands by a third party. It's their funds. Now, of course, they're responsible for reporting them themselves, but there is no financial transaction happening by some large entity or company. It is individual transactions. So the students pay the tuition monthly, which means you also earn 100% residual income. Every month when these individuals renew and continue to pay their tuition, you earn those same funds again. Why would they do this? Because we have provided the means for them to have a working business. They're not going to stick around just because they like us or because it's fun. They're making money. All they have to have in a 100% commission world is one active student, and they're breaking even. If they have at least that, then they have the funds to pay their tuition. And that's the reason for doing this. You want to have as many people, each individual needs people that are paying them the $125 full tuition. Those people can only do it if the business is viable and the individuals are earning that kind of money. Now, we allow students to start with the basic tuition of $25. The full tuition, of course, is $125, which they earn by the techniques and methods that we show them. So as the students earn this additional $125, the additional $100 added to their original basic tuition, then the students will month after month pay that same and will be entitled to have their people paying them the $125 full tuition, which again, the school provides the means for them to earn this. So, what does pay directly mean? It means we don't have a monthly, weekly, or even daily pay. They're paid in real time. As a student is enrolled, the funds go directly to your account, whether you set up a merchant account, which we have that available for you, which goes to your bank, or you set up a PayPal account, which of course you're familiar with that. Either way, the funds go directly to you. You don't have to wait for some pay cycle or disbursement or waiting for an e-wallet to get around to transferring the funds to you. They come to you either directly to your bank account or to a PayPal account. Now, because the new students aren't making phone calls and they're not having to do the training, they're allowed to have the flexibility to work this program in that it can accommodate what they need to do. We're the professionals. We're taking care of the heavy lifting. That means they can have a full-time job and a couple part-time jobs. They can have family obligations that they need to take care of. They can be going to school. Whatever their time strains are, we can accommodate them because the things we're going to ask them to do can be done any time that it fits into their time schedule. So that frees them up. They don't have to wait to learn any huge procedure in order to start making money. They will earn money right from day one. It's not an MLM. There are no levels. You don't get paid for people above you or below you. You get paid directly by the individuals paying you tuition. So this is why the average person can earn a full-time income. So how is this? What are the mechanics of this program? Well, first of all, the name itself, the Italian word for four. Uno, dos, tres, quattro. Quattro, of course, is four because this is based on a unique program that initially, in the very first 4 people that are brought into the system, when a new individual comes in, 4 people come in, and 2 of them are passed up to the person that they were enrolled with. Why do we do this transfer? That's how we establish growth. And it's automatic growth because once the individual has gone through the process of having their first 4 and upgrading those 4 to the full tuition, they're now entitled to have the residual income that doesn't require their direct effort, which is what makes it residual. So it's also known as a reverse 2-up system, but either way, the individuals can do this. Now, that allows us to put them in a situation where they start to earn an income which will go pretty quick for them, and it grows. So let's describe this a little bit graphically for you. So initially you have a brand new placement specialist, you, who's going to fill their own class. What do we mean there? We're going to have you enroll these people directly to you so that you can see the process and you can receive the income directly. So now you know how it works. You actually see the funds. You can take them and fill up your gas tank. Point is, we want you to see how it works for not just you, but the future students that you're going to bring in. Once you fill those 4, then it's going to simply be the same pattern. You're going to have the ability to, on day 1, bring in 4 people, and the same thing will happen for all the people that we bring in. So what does the pass-up system do? Well, as we mentioned, 2 of those students are transferred out of your class, but 2 remain with you. Something else that we're going to have you do. We're going to ask you to go out and bring in 2 new salespeople from a different set of leads, people that would like to sell this program with us, and they now work directly for you, which means that they're also going to have 4 people that they put in for themselves, and 2 of those are transferred to you. 2 of those people, that means 4 people a day. So that's where the $200 a day comes in. You've put in 4 people, which is $25 each. You brought in 2 salespeople, which each give you 2 people, which is another 50 times 2, which is 100. So a minimum of $200 a day by doing the same pattern. 4 students, 2 salespeople. Let's talk salespeople for a second. You are salespeople. You know what I'm speaking of. Given our current economy, there are people that are very much in the past used to making 6-figure incomes. They sold real estate. They sold mortgages. They sold high-end cars. Whatever they did, they were making good money doing it because that's what their skill provided. Those folks are looking for an opportunity, and when you throw in the added benefit of being paid directly and doing it from your home location, not out there burning up gas and taking a risk on the highway, that just makes it all the better. Do you think we can find people out there that are willing to sell a product like this if they can make that kind of money? Yes, of course we can, and we do. So the next thing that happens is you have two people that were transferred up. People are being transferred to you. So you see that the two students that stayed in your class, they go through the same exact sequence. Each of them will get 4 people. That's the normal thing. They fill the quad, as we call it. As they fill this 4 just once, just the first initial period, after that you don't do any of this, but on their first 4, 2 of those are going to transfer into your class. So that's 4 people out of that initial quad. What happens next? The same thing happens with the students or with the people that were brought in as salespeople. They also give you 2 each. So every single day you're getting 2 new from the people that you brought in, and each of those will give you 2. And you're getting 2 new people from the salespeople that you've hired to be part of your group. Those salespeople will eventually be paying you full tuition as their business grows way in the future. Salespeople don't pay anything to get started. It costs them nothing. They're being hired to do a job. Students pay the $25 once, and that's it. The system grows based on the fact that the attractiveness of the program brings in people that want to do this. And it has success because we take out the risk. We take out the question. Can a salesperson sell this? Absolutely, because that's why they're salespeople. So the next thing that's going to happen, let's just talk about day 1. All right? On day 1, you're going to have, as we mentioned, 10 new students having been generated by the activities. The 2 that you kept, the 2 that each of those brought you, the 2 that each of your salespeople brought you. So every day generates 10 people. At a minimum, that's $250 paid direct. That gives you a foundation to build on. Now there's something else to consider. What we're also going to do with these students is we're going to build their businesses. They're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to have people transferred into their class paying them. As they've earned enough money to pay the full tuition, guess who gets the full tuition? You do, or whoever they were enrolled by. They earn the money, they pay the full tuition, so the very same student that was paying you $25 last week, now through your efforts and the efforts of the other salespeople, now has a business that can afford to upgrade to the full tuition, and that extra $100 belongs to you. So that same 10 students that came from the results of one day's work goes from being $250 to $1,250 just from that one day's activity. So what happens next? Now we have what we call day 2. In other words, that's the typical day. After you've gotten past the first 4, this is what happens. Every day we're going to ask you to spend a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours, and we're going to ask you to place 4 students in classes. Some of those are going to be placed in yours, and then some of them are going to be placed in those for the team. And either way, you're getting paid $25 for doing it. You get paid residual income on the ones that stay with you, but you always make the $25 for the effort of putting a person in a classroom. We're going to ask you to also bring in 2 new salespeople. They will work for you. So those 6 individuals, 2 salespeople, which is really easy to acquire because there's a lot of qualified, talented people out there that would like to do this if they can understand it. You don't have to train them. You don't train any of these folks. You bring in a new student, you plug them right into our program, and from day 1, we mentor and instruct them. Brand new salesperson, we plug them into a system, and then you just keep on repeating the process. We want to keep it simple. This is the pattern. It always happens the same way. Get 4 students, get 2 new salespeople. Some of the students you keep, some of the students you will get for others, but either way, you're getting paid. So, day 2 and beyond, well, we see what the results of a typical day are. With the 4 new students that we enrolled and the 2 new salespeople, you receive $200 in direct compensation. Because everything is broken down into 2 categories of income, direct and residual. What's an example of residual income? Well, the students that you previously enrolled and that were placed there by other placement specialists, they were given to you without any direct effort. You brought in these two new salespeople who went out and they filled their own 4. Their efforts resulted in you getting 2 new students each. So those 4 students came to you as residual. You didn't have to do the work. You received a benefit from the work you'd previously done. What did you previously do? You hired 2 salespeople. What did that result in? And when you hired the 2 salespeople, you received $100. Let's put it that way. You did receive the $100 because the residual income that comes from them. That's how that works. And then 30 days in, you start receiving the $125 per month again for all the students that had previously enrolled. They pay it now. 30 days from now, you can expect that same student to be paying you $125. And that accumulates. What does that mean? That if you have this many students this month, then you add that total to the students you require next month, and your total continues to grow. You're not out there making new sales just for the benefit of having a paycheck. Your paycheck will only go up because you continue to build the classes and you continue to keep students profitable through the system. They're making the money they need to pay their tuition, which means those folks are still going to be there. So let's do a little spreadsheet. We threw it out there for you so you can look at these projections. Now, please consider the fact that even though you're listening to the video and the audio, the same spreadsheet and everything else is available in a PDF format so you can read it, because you're going to want to go back and take a look at this. But we went ahead and did a 13-week projection. 13 weeks, of course, is a financial quarter, 3 months. Every week, with 4 students a day times a 5-day work week, of course, you're bringing in 20 direct students. That's what you do for the entire week. You also receive, through no direct effort of yours, 20 more students that were brought in by the salespeople that you had previously hired, and also from those students themselves, when their quads are filled by you or other placement specialists, that attributes and contributes to your transfers. So on any given day, you're getting another transfers, minimum, which means that by the second week, those folks have earned enough money now that you're starting to get full tuition paying. That means that 20 people giving you $100 because they've earned it, they want to pay the full tuition. You're the person they pay it to. That's an extra $2,000 per week right there. So that's how you see the income going from the $1,000 in the very first week to $3,500 for the next 3 weeks. But then something happens after the 4th week. The people start to renew. So whatever amount that you earned in week number 1, you get added to your daily total in week 5 and week 6 and week 7, and it continues to grow. So you can see the mathematical pattern is very simple, because the same person that paid you on week 5 is also going to pay you on week 10. But that is added to the people that you've acquired in week 6, 7, 8, 9. You can see that it grows. And why would these people stick around? Because they're earning money, they're getting support, they're being supported daily, they're being mentored, they are earning the money to pay their tuition. You put them in the program, you are earning the commission because we need you to be there. The program doesn't work without qualified salespeople. It looks good on paper, but unless you have someone that can show folks who are looking for an internet-based business that this is the best opportunity they will ever come across without the risk and those things involved, then that's exactly why we do this. We want you to have the compensation that we know needs to be provided in order for us to have the quality of salespeople we demand. So, what's our business plan? How do we make the money? Well, it's a true 100% commission. The students, yourself, everyone earns 100% commission. No money changes hands, there are no admin fees, doesn't go to a third party. You're paid direct. That means you get your money in real time, but it also goes directly to your bank account, directly to your PayPal account. There is no risk. We can call it low risk if you want, but a one-time $25 with no additional out-of-pocket expense is really not a risky proposition. So that also then brings in the residual income. It grows like the tree, the money tree. Doesn't stop growing, it's only added to. And as long as you provide the means, a duplicatable process that all these folks can plug into, then they will have earned the money that provides the means to pay their tuition month after month. So, what are some additional resources? Well, we're going to want you to look at the QES101sales.com. That's your portal with all of the links to, including this video. The recordings, the audio, the video, the text, where you put your leads, where are the scripts, all the things that are needed for this program are there for you to study. You will plug in new students to QES101marketing.com. That's where they go to start learning what they need to do to contribute to the system and earn their money. So all you're doing is basically plugging the people in. The enrollment process takes less than a minute. 60 seconds later, they're enrolled. You provide them the link, QES101marketing.com, and they're ready to do the job and start earning right away. Now, let me please petition or have you consider, if you will. We know this is a lot to absorb, but we want you to consider this. We do not expect you to get it the first time you go through and see it. You may think, well, this seems too complicated. Let me go sell something easier. This is easy to sell. When the light comes on, you'll see how it is easy. But the only thing we'd like you to do, get Skype set up. We give you a manual in the software to do it. Send in a contact request. We tell you who to contact, J. Preston Group. We will put you in the sales room. It's a virtual office where we work, where you work. And then we work with you for daily sales meetings, but we work with you one step at a time. If it takes you days or months or years to get this, you will eventually be able to do this. So what we're asking you to do is consider. Maybe it looks overwhelming. No, it's simple, but don't take our word for it. Just simply get involved. If you will get on the Skype and get into our room, come to our office, and we will work with you. You will see activity. You will see people being placed. You will see people talking about the leads or people talking about the sales techniques. You'll see that this works. You're not under any pressure to make it all happen tomorrow. But please, don't walk away from an opportunity to do this, because it is serious income and you are needed to make it happen. We make it happen for you. We make it happen for the students. We take our years of knowledge and we develop a system that doesn't provide risk. It uses the knowledge for people to be able to truly make an income using these skills. And that's the point that we're trying to make, and that's the goal we have, and we've achieved that goal, and we want your help to continue.